Now we'll be looking at a few other examples on how we would be able to use ratios. Let's have our warm-up question. I asked previously who's hungry, because I am, especially with this picture. Right, so you've got Rosa, Samantha, and Tanya chipped in together to buy a pizza. The pizza costs $20. Now Rosa gave $5, Samantha $10, and Tanya $5. Now when the pizza arrived, how do you think they shared the pizza among themselves? And again, asking yourself, what's fair? Or how do you think they should share the pizza? Who should get more? Or should anyone else get more? Isaiah says Rosa gets a quarter, Tanya gets a quarter, and Samantha gets, what's 2 over 4? There are a total of 8 slices. I can see there's 8 here. 8 slices here, and therefore Samantha would be getting a half, or 4 over 8. Yeah, Rosa would get a quarter, which is this. Yeah, and then Tanya would be getting that one there. All right, so do you think it would be fair that way? Or what do you think Samantha and Rosa and Tanya actually did? They actually just shared, or just ate when they want another one, because they didn't give the same amount of money, right? Then maybe the pizza that they get would be in proportion, right, or of the same ratio as how much they've pitched in. The same thing maybe if, you know, 3 friends would be paying for a lottery ticket, right? So maybe if they didn't give the same amount of money, and they were so lucky and they won, right? Maybe the ratio of their winnings wouldn't be the same, right? So we're dividing a certain number into a given ratio. So now you've got $500,000, but it needs to be shared not equally, but in a certain ratio. So the first thing we need to do, we'll look at the ratio. You've got 3 to 7, right? When you say they're in equal parts, then it would have been 5 to 5 or 1 to 1, right? But this time, one gets 3 parts, the other one gets 7 parts, right? But how many parts is that altogether? Yes, 10 together. So you've got 3 parts and 7 parts. Altogether, you get 10 parts, right? So what you're saying is that your $500,000, you want that divided into 10 parts so that you can give one person 3 parts, right? And the other person 7 parts. 500,000 divided by 10 parts, what do you have? 50K. So that would be 50,000, right? So it's just 1 less 0. Yes, thank you. So then you've got 1 part. So this one, no, sorry, they're not equal. But 1 part is equivalent to 50,000, right? So how much is 3 parts? If 1 part is 50,000, one would get 150K. How did you get 150,000? What did you do to get the 3 parts? So 1 part is 50,000. It just makes sense that you times it by 3 to get 3 parts, yeah? And how about 7 parts? How do you get 7 parts? You get 350,000. So again, you would say 50,000 times it by 7. Does that make sense? Because we've got 1 part as 50,000. If you want 7 parts, then you times that by 7. Yeah, so how do we do this? So we want a mixture of cement, sand, and what's a blue metal? I don't know what that is. Maybe some powder or something for them to be able to make that concrete. Okay, so The only difference from the previous question is that this would just be in a worded statement. You've got the cement, the sand, and that blue metal there, and you can actually just write what the ratios or parts are. So you can say that's 1 part to 2 parts to 4 parts, and now we've got a ratio of 3 terms. So maybe we say just the mixture. Okay, so that concrete mixture is M. Yeah, right, because you might get confused that this is concrete, but that's actually cement. Yeah, right. So it says there we're looking for how much sand we need when there's 4.2 concrete or mixture that's there, right? So how do we find that out? Firstly, what we need to find out would be the same thing as how we did the previous question. We want to look for how many parts altogether. If we've got 1 part, 2 parts, and 4 parts, that means if we add them together, we get how many parts altogether? 7. All right, thank you. So now you've got 7 parts. That 7 parts would mean it's what? 4.2 cubic meters, right? Now, what you're looking for is this one here. If we know that 7 parts is 4.2 cubic meters, how much is 1 part? What do we do? So again, with ratios, we could say 7 to 4.2. We want 1 is to what? From 7 to 1, what did we multiply or divide? Remember from the last lesson, we can only multiply or divide. What did we multiply to 7 to give us, or multiply or divide to give us what? 1. So 7 parts is 4.2. 1 part is divide by 7. Thank you. So if we divide that by 7, we get 1. So the same thing with this one. We divide 4.2 by 7. What do we get? 4.2 divided by 7 is 0.6. But what does this tell us? That 0.6 is just 1 part. How many parts do we need? We need 2 parts. So then if 1 part is 0.6, 2 parts, that didn't work, 2 parts would be equivalent to 0.6 times 2, right? Times 2 there, and therefore you get 1.2, right? So it's 1.2 cubic meters of sand that we need. Bye, guys. I'll be staying online. Bye.
Bye. Come on, Rocky. Let's go.